Good afternoon. Typhoon Egay, with international name Doksuri, has left the Philippine area of responsibility, according to the State Weather Bureau. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration says the typhoon was last spotted 255 kilometers west of Itbayat, Batanes, as outside PAR. Despite this, tropical cyclone wind signals remain hoisted over parts of northern Luzon. Signal number 2 is up over Batanes, the northwestern portion of Cagayan, including Babuyan Islands, and the northern portion of Ilocos Norte. Meanwhile, 17 provinces remain under signal number 1. According to Pagasa, the southwest monsoon enhanced by Egay will continue to bring rains over the western portions of central Luzon and southern Luzon in the next 3 days. Just after Typhoon Egay battered parts of the country, a low-pressure area outside the Philippine area of responsibility develops into tropical depression. According to Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration's 12 noon update, the tropical depression is located 1,585 kilometers east of eastern Visayas. It is still outside the Philippine area of responsibility and has no direct effect yet to the country. Pagasa says the tropical depression is expected to enter PAR between Saturday evening and Sunday morning, but is not seen to approach the country's landmass. The Weather Bureau says the tropical depression is seen to exit PAR between Monday afternoon and Tuesday morning next week. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council says 5 people were reported dead, while over 325,000 people have been affected by Typhoon Egay and the southwest monsoon or habagat. In its situation report on Thursday, NDRRMC says the typhoon and habagat have affected at least 328,000 persons across 11 regions in the country. The 2 weather disturbances have also displaced at least 26,000 people. According to the NDRRMC, it is still validating the reports about the death of 5 people and the injury of 2 amid the onslaught of the typhoon and habagat. The agency has so far pegged damage to infrastructure at 1.7 million, while damage to agriculture has yet to be assessed. The Senate deferred its bid to raise China's aggression in the West Philippine Sea before the United Nations General Assembly, following concerns raised by some lawmakers. Sponsored by Senator Risa Ontiveros, Senate Resolution number 659 seeks to bring China's incursions in the West Philippine Sea before the United Nations General Assembly. Ontiveros says a UN General Assembly measure could bolster the 2016 arbitral award, making it clear that China's claim of the entire South China Sea was illegal and incompatible. But during a plenary session on Wednesday, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano challenged the measure, asking why it specifically called out China when other countries are also taking advantage of Philippine waters.
We also have a dispute with Vietnam and Malaysia. So ang question ko po, if tayo lahat ay may dispute dyan, bakit po sa resolution na to, China lang po ang ating tinutukoy, or why are we concentrating only or limiting this resolution to China? Why don't we also ask the UN to look into why Vietnam and Malaysia are intruding into our waters?
According to Ontiveros, the sole subject of the resolution is China because it was Beijing, aside from the Philippines, who was also the subject of the 2016 landmark ruling in Hague. With these differences, the Senate has suspended the consideration of the resolution until Monday, July 31.
Posibleng mas mild kumpara sa dami at sa tindi at sa pagkatuloy-tuloy ng mga insidenteng pinagdudusahan ng ating bansa, ating Navy, ating mangingisda, ating kalikasan pa nga sa kamay ng China. Besides, Mr. President and good gentlemen, this is not a question of dispute. This is a question of a questionable legal theory, the 9-dash line.
Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. Typhoon Egay exits Philippine area of responsibility. Tropical depression east of eastern Visayas may enter PAR, according to Pagasa. NDRRMC says 5 people were reported dead due to Egay and southwest monsoon. And President Bongbong Marcos set to return today from his 3-day state visit to Malaysia. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.